does Bangalore have only 221 potholes? Well, that is exactly what Bangalore's civic body has told the court, also promising that in the next 10 days, all these 221 potholes, just 221 potholes, will be okay. They will be filled, they'll be repaired, etc. However, is that really the case? My colleague Deepak is on the ground sending us this reality check.
Especially the people who commute on these roads on a regular basis, they know the problems that they face because, every time they move across a stretch which probably has a good asphalt laid for about half a kilometer, then it's a stretch that you have which is pothole ridden. So for the people, of course, it's a huge struggle. We can, of course, try and speak to a few more people. There's an auto driver who's just stopped here. Let's try and get in a word from him.
ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ 220 ಪಾಟೋಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಡೀ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಕಮ್ಮಿ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. 100 ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ. 100 ಜನ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಕ್ಕೂ ಬೇಡ. ಅವ್ರು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಯಾರು ಜನನಾಯಕರೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜನ ಸೇವಕರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೇಸ್ಟ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಾವು BJP ಆಗಲಿ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, JDS ಆಗಲಿ ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕೋದೇ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
Let me go straight across to Deepak, who's actually joining us on the story. Deepak, the BBMP has actually told the Karnataka High Court that there are only 221 potholes on the roads of Bangalore. A pretty stunning claim by all accounts.
Well, if you ask any Bengalurians, about this particular claim of the BBMP, one thing is for certain, they would laugh. The other is, if there's actually a survey that's done on the main roads of the city, Shreya, there's a big chance that the BBMP would be charged for contempt of court. Now, let me give you an example as to why I'm saying that. The possibility is very certain because now this is the also Lake Road that you were just seeing the report from. And you can see this is where asphalting was done just a few days ago. And this is the pothole filling work that they say is being undertaken. If this pothole was filled, why are the vehicles here struggling? Why are even a lorry coming through this stretch of the road, you can see what kind of a struggle it is as they make their way not through potholes, through craters. This particular stretch itself could have over 20 to 30 potholes if you count it. And this is a daily problem that people go through, not just on this particular stretch, but on multiple stretches, multiple main roads. Now the question is, if you're going to fill up potholes, and if this is going to be the condition, and is this the report that they're going to give to the Karnataka High Court, which has pulled them up time and again? That's the question. And going by this sort of account, then you could fill up 10,000 potholes a day, and then you can say that there are no potholes in Bengaluru because according to them, it's been filled up. But the reality is quite different. Now, is this what you call a filled up pothole? Because I commuted on this stretch of the road just a few days ago. There was asphalting done, but you can see the condition now. I would have spoken to multiple people, but several of them, of course, this is during peak office hours, and people are, of course, trying to get back home. I wouldn't want to stop them in between their struggle. Let's, in fact, look, one nimsha. Let's try and, let's see if anyone stops. Well, he's, of course, like I mentioned, everyone in a hurry right now. I wouldn't want to stop people, but coming back to the situation here, it is quite bad. The figures that the BBMP says, just 221 for people who commute regularly in the city of Bengaluru, that would seem nothing but like a joke.
The other joke is that there is a promise that has been made by the BBMP to the Karnataka High Court that we will fill all potholes, these 221 of them, in the next 10 days. This is coming from a body that has repeatedly missed many, many deadlines as far as potholes are concerned and spent a lot of money, more than 30 crore rupees every year, filling these potholes, which miraculously come back again and again and again.
Absolutely. And more importantly, we should understand that, from 2015, this petition is being heard. And time and again, the Karnataka High Court sets deadlines. At least thanks to the deadlines, we see some sort of action on the ground with potholes being filled. Now, if there was no Karnataka High Court pulling the BBMP up, then, well, the Bengalurians would have to just, hope that they reach back home safely. Because we've seen deaths, we've seen people being injured, we've seen, sharp criticism from, prominent personalities from across the country. We've seen opposition coming down on the governments, whoever have been at power, but nothing seems to be changing as far as the BBMP's apathy is concerned. They continue to hire contractors who put poor quality, material, which leads to roads firstly getting into this dilapidated condition. Then they fill potholes with yet again poor quality material, which once again leaves it in this sort of a condition. At the end of the day, the people who are commuting on these stretches, they bear the brunt on their health. Number one, let's get in a word here. There is in fact some people who are willing to speak, but he just stopped and of course moved a little ahead. Like I mentioned, a busy stretch. But as we continue to see this, it is a big problem that the people face. One auto driver who we spoke to earlier did say that he spends about 200 rupees of his income just on repairs. So you commute on this road on a regular basis. How long have you seen this road in this condition?
From few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
The BBMP today said that there are only 221
I know.
potholes
That in the paper
city.
also. It is
You
utterly.
agree with that? You commute
No,
in the
no,
city?
never. How can we? When we are seeing, I think in one road itself you can find 200.
So you don't agree with that?
You never.
Well,
Right.
well,
Thanks.
well, there you heard it. That's Bangalorean's voice, and this is something that it will be echoed to anyone that you will speak to. An auto driver we spoke to earlier said the same thing. He said just on this stretch there could be about 200 potholes, and it is a mockery of what the BBMP is saying when they say just 221 potholes are left, and they'll do it within the next 10 days. That's of course another deadline that they'll have to meet. They'll go to court. We'll have to see what else can be done really to fix this menace that's plaguing the city for quite some time.
The estimate from the gentleman who you just spoke to said maybe there are 200 potholes in this one road itself, and I wonder where all the money goes when it comes to filling the potholes. Last estimate, and this is coming from the government itself, told us that 215 crore rupees have been spent in the last 5 years to fix the potholes of Bangalore. Where this money has gone? In these potholes as well. Tara Krishnamurthy is joining us. Krishnaswamy, I beg your pardon, is joining us on the broadcast. We also have some callers, I believe, who are joining us. Maybe we can patch up with them. We have Vinod, who's calling us from Bangalore. Vinod, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Certainly, politicians have been busy doing the yatras and all sorts of activities which they do just because there's election, which is very, very close. Bangalore has a very peculiar situation where there are no cooperators for a very long time.
Yeah.
And the elections have not been held. Now, a regular citizen is unaware whom to go and contact. Whether he has to go and talk to a cooperator or whether he has to go to talk to the BBMP guys, none of the guys are, available. Only thing is, whenever there's a situation like the floods which are coming up, and that time they are busy breaking homes, rather than doing a solution when they can dig through the underground for metro rail, for a pipe which is already there, go and break homes of poor people.
You're referring to the demolition drive currently underway as far as the BBMP is concerned. The bulldozers are out. They're saying this is encroachment. This needs to go. Mr. Sadan Kumar, you're calling us from Bangalore as well. Let's quickly get in a word from you before I go to Tara Krishnaswamy. Please go ahead.
Yeah, madam. This is Sadan here. I've been living in Bangalore from last 18 years after returning from abroad. And I see that why can't we? I pay about close to 15 lakh rupees of property tax in Bangalore. And why should I live here? Why can't we hand over the whole BBMP, close the BBMP, give it off to somebody like Jurong Town Council or some Korean company, and we can pay half the property tax and no bribe? Why can't we do that? Close down the BBMP. We don't need them. We don't need the corporators. We don't need the BBMP. We don't need the Bangalore minister. Hand it over to somebody like what Delhi is being maintained by central government money and somebody else is ruling there. The same way, let the JTC, Jurong Town Council or some Korean company or Malaysian company maintain it. Let them take all the income and let them maintain the streets.
Okay. You are saying we don't need the BBMP. They do nothing except spend money, but where the money is spent, we don't know. So Bangalore gets flooded all the time. Once the floods recede, this is what we have, potholes on the roads. Now the Bangalore municipal body has told the government there are only 221 of them and that they will be filling them in the next 10 days. Is that even believable? Not a single person who's called us from Bangalore seems to believe it. Rahul Patil, you're calling us from Bangalore again. Please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, it seems like a joke. Like 221 potholes in Bangalore. I think they are talking about some 1 kilometer stretch at the max where 221 potholes may be there. I just want to bring out that every year court also orders and they tell that that they will fill it up, but no action has been taken yet. So same is the situation every time. For some work, in the morning time, they will come, they will put some material and fill the road, put road roller. That only happens. After that, they will go away. And immediately after 2-3 days, same situation happens. And if you can see, number of patients with backache in Bangalore are increasing like anything. That is the situation right now.
Okay.
And I don't know in next 10 days how they are going to do it again.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll just see. Otherwise, they'll always stretch the deadline. They've done it in the past multiple times. That's exactly what they'll do. Go to court, say, we couldn't finish our work, give us some more time. And that's how the story plays out every time. Tara Krishnaswamy, thank you very much for your time here on Mirror Now. You've heard all the callers. You've heard one of the commuters speak to Deepak, my colleague, as well. What's the problem with the BBMP? I mean, it's a pretty shameless situation, isn't it? That potholes in Bangalore make news all the time. By now, we know by heart how much money has been spent by the BBMP in the last 5 years to fix its potholes. And every day or every second day, you have someone or the other who's dying because of potholes on the roads. And this is India's IT city. I mean, this is a city that gives IT solutions to the rest of the world. And it seems it's incapable of fixing something as mundane and minor as a pothole.
Yeah, it is, it is like one of these, Bollywood movie scripts that's predictable. You have one script where the court will give a deadline. These chaps will claim a very small number of potholes and the court will specifically give 10 days each time. And then, like you said, the extension saga will go on, end of which nothing changes. There is a tragic version where people end up dying or, losing limb or having accidents. And, there is another version where activists are painting in potholes and, highlighting the problem. This saga goes on. And then there is another version where the court orders counting, the numbers are, very high. We know that it doesn't require the CAG or a court-ordered counting for people to know that it's apparent on the roads every day. The minute you leave Bangalore and get out, because Bangalore is a city very close to the border, the minute you leave Bangalore and you go to any of the neighboring states, the roads dramatically improve. And this is not a new problem. Yes, right now, this government is squarely to blame because they have not held the BBMP elections for more than 2 years. And unlike the previous caller who said, get rid of BBMP and give it to some company, no, we don't want to lose our democracy. We must hold our elected representatives accountable. It is their job. For the sake of potholes, we are not going to, outsource it into some kind of the governance into a business. That said, one of the biggest problems is that we don't have an elected BBMP now. Which means that when there is a pothole, when there is a danger in the local ward, there is nobody to go and ask who is accountable. While there exists the administrative part of the BBMP, the engineers, the commissioner and the commissionerette, they are not accountable to the people per se. They can receive complaints yet, but they don't, they're not answerable to people and they're not going to face an election the way corporators, face. So corporators, this is why you have elections, because people get accountable. And you can see that elections, the Karnataka state elections are just around the corner. And if this is the case now, it tells you more than politics. You have a serious structural problem.
Correct.
So number one, we haven't had elections, but even with elections in the past, Bangalore has faced potholes for decades. So that is true. So now what is the problem? See, BBMP is hardly 50%, operating on 50% capacity. They have more than 50% vacancies, which haven't been filled for decades. And BBMP does not have the authority to fill it. Only the state government can fill it. And the state government is doing whatever it is doing, not focusing on the real problems of the people. They passed an anti-conversion law. They will pass love jihad laws. They really don't care if something is happening in Bangalore. There is flooding happening. People are dying in the potholes. That doesn't seem to. They're neither conducting elections nor are they taking responsibility. Structurally, something is wrong with the BBMP because all cities have these problems. All cities have problems of flooding.
True.
But not all cities have this degree of pothole. Every city has potholes. It is not that roads are perfect. But the scale of the problems in Bangalore is unprecedented.
All right. All right, Tara.
And I think that's a structural problem that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it's not just politics. There's more to it, as you're putting it. But does Bangalore really have just 221 potholes as we speak? No one believes that, but that's what the BBMP has told court, also promising that in the next 10 days, everything will be fixed. What can I say except let's wait and watch. Tara, thank you very much. We'll see you on the 11th day to discuss the very same issue, because chances are that the BBMP is going to miss its deadline. A quick break. There's much more coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.